I once saw in a video that in order to be your next self or your future self or the version of you want to be, it starts with a self funeral, which means that you have to let go of your old self in order to embrace the new. This refers to no longer adopting habits that you used to do, no longer thinking the way you used to do. And once again, this does not happen overnight. But what are we supposed to do whenever we feel this way? We have to understand that it all starts with a conscious intention. You have to acknowledge that, you know what, something has to change. When you start talking to yourself like that, you start to realize you can actually do the actions. Because it all starts with an initiation, you know. It all starts with, I want to do this. Something has to change. Something doesn't feel right. Enough is enough. You have to say goodbye both ways. One, to a version of you never really needed in order to get someone you do need. And one, in case you're thinking, I'm not ready to move on. You're saying goodbye to the you that has the potential. So I like to think both ways because I'm someone who's realistic, blunt with my thinking, but somewhat optimistic. It's so weird, don't ask me why, but it works. So for you guys to understand about moving on, embracing change, it's all about what you do in your everyday life, what you say in your everyday life. If you're someone who lazes about in bed, you know, I've been there before, it sucks. That's one habit, but if you've decided enough is enough, something has to change, then that means there's a version of you that doesn't want it. There's a part of you that knows this doesn't serve me, this doesn't help me, you know. It's like me teleporting to another place because I know this place will not serve me. It's leaving this dark place in order to go to a new safe place. And here's another thing I noticed. People tell you to leave your comfort zone. But here's how I see it. You're in a bubble, which is your comfort zone. You leave that bubble. So you temporarily feel like you have no air. You feel like you have no shield, your shelter. And then what you have to do is you expand that bubble. Instead of expanding it, actually, you move on from that bubble, swim across, and somehow find another bubble to make your comfort zone. And that's true. And then you feel safe again. But you had to leave the old one in order to reach the new. And you had to leave a bubble in order to reach the new. Which means that you have to feel some type of discomfort in order to create a bigger type of comfort for yourself. If you're trying to make ends meet, if you're really trying to set your goals, you have to show up. You have to, you know, make the video. You have to do whatever you got to do. If there is a part of you that feels like it has to go, that's your side, you know. You don't have to grieve that version of you. You know, for me, I was thinking it served me. I'm grateful because look, there's always something of compassion to take. It's not just people hurting us from another video I did. It's also us hurting us, you know. There's a version of me that still helped me. So I could still say, if it wasn't for my old self, I wouldn't have been able to be here. If she didn't fight through, if she didn't go through XYZ, you know, now I'm setting her free, you know. But she can't help me. So there's a part of me that used to be incredibly sad, incredibly disturbed in life, you know. I used to be like that, you know. Pessimistic and really, really low spirits, everything. But I still feel grateful that I felt those emotions so that I could overcome them, because now I appreciate what a good day is like. Now I appreciate having that kind of joy. And if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have been able to go, you know, I wouldn't have been able to appreciate it. But the beauty is not during the moment, it's afterwards. It's when you realize I survived this. Because during the moment it sucks. You're probably not even going to think anything good of it. But it's about who you become afterwards. If it makes you weaker, you're not learning. If it makes you stronger, you are learning. And that's how it is. Sometimes life makes you go through the same thing over and over again. Do you ever notice? Because you're not learning. And until you learn, it will continue to teach you. And life could be stubborn. Sometimes there are lessons that you feel like, oh, it doesn't leave me alone. Why am I always in this kind of situation? It's because you're not learning. And I learned that with friendships. I learned that with people. That's why I go through the same thing again, you know, not being their first choice, not being this, until I made myself my first choice. And then people finally started to make me either their first choice or someone they care about, you know. And for me, I don't really care about first choice in the sense of, you know, I have to be the first choice like that. It was just a form of validation I needed as a kid. I had to let go of the old me. I'm still grateful for the old me. I'm still grateful because of her. I'm still alive. I'm able to learn about life, etc. But guys, it doesn't serve us, you know. You know that. If there is a part of you that doesn't feel aligned with what you're doing, you have to let it go. So you have to say thank you for being here. Thank you for helping me. I'm grateful I went through this, but I can't take you with me, you know. That's the sad truth. And it's a good one as well because it's relieving. So this is the me I've been used to my whole life, you know. Like at one point when I was really pessimistic, that was my life. That was me every single day, dreading every single day, dreading waking up. Yes, I had that, but I had to let her go because even if I acknowledged her feelings, she helped me feel grateful. I can't take her with me because she's not helping me. Because if I really understand it to its deep and, you know, philosophical level, how can someone like that help me? If someone is always deeply rooted in the ground, always wanting to plummet themselves downwards, how can that help me elevate myself? So while I can indeed appreciate the lessons, I can't take you with me. I'm sorry. So that's where you have to start understanding that you have to let parts of yourself go. And honey, I know it's not easy. I know it's not. But what else can you do? If you take that version of you with you, it's gonna conflict. So some days you're gonna feel great, some days you're gonna feel like back to this spiral. We're human beings, we always spiral. But what I mean is something which is abnormally bad, you know. Defining yourself that way again. And letting go of a person like that is hard, you know. Like I still have down days. Yesterday to be exact. But I don't feel, you know, as bugged about it as I used to. And the reason why is because I decided to make that change for myself. Sorry guys. I need the gems right now. Oh my god. You know I only care about the 4-star this time around. Ah! Wait, oh there's one more. This guy's just chilling and not even hitting me. Okay. But yeah. You want to go through different lengths, you know. You want to go from a beginner to advance yourself. Because if you always stay as a beginner, you're safe, okay, fine. But you're never going to be able to excel at anything else. And what does it take to get advanced? You have to go through trial and error. You have to go through those risks. That's leaving the bubble. And then when you're finally good at it, you reach a new bubble, which is your new comfort zone, which is where you're comfortable and where you're confident with doing whatever you need to get done, you know. So, whoopsies. So at first you have, let's say, one piece of artwork or one material, whatever you're doing. And it feels like it's endless. It feels like, oh, what am I doing, you know? And then you keep doing it and doing it and doing it. You keep adding to it. Eventually you realize it becomes a portfolio. So even on days where you didn't like it, every single piece matters. Because it builds a bigger picture, very literally. So that's what you have to see. And puzzle pieces, you might think, oh, they might... That's a better example, actually. Because puzzle pieces are all unique. And you might be thinking, what if one doesn't fit? But if you have a box and you're thinking, this one doesn't go anywhere, you know it's going to have to go somewhere because it was a part of that piece, you know. Unless someone mismatched it, which I've had too many times. But yeah. Every piece fits somewhere. And that shows that we all fit somewhere. Sometimes we just don't fit that specific piece, and that is okay. Like, a lot of us think that we have to fit a certain piece because we want to fit in, we want to do this. But we don't need that, honestly. Oh, snap. That's bling overload right there. So, yeah. If you're ever feeling like you're losing a piece, you're losing yourself, let me just tell you. You guys are a part of my puzzle piece. You guys are a huge part of my channel. I care about you. And you're a very unique puzzle to me, you know. You're a very unique piece to me. And I don't need any certain numbers. I don't need any limits, you know. It's an expanding piece, but it becomes more and more beautiful with each time I'm able to connect with you guys, you know. Anyway, cringy talk aside, I'm just here to mostly tell you, you have to let go of the BS, okay? You have to be tired of your own BS. I've seen that online as well, and I was thinking, deep but true. if you want to win and you're always thinking, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna sleep forever, yeah, I think we know the answer to that. And yeah, this is coming from someone who used to be very, 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 very optimistic. Oh yeah, that's for sure. No, you have to make that conscious choice. It takes time. It hurts. It literally hurts like hell. But who the hell said it's easy? You know, leaving one bubble to get to another, and then getting to another bubble after that. Life is all about expanding your bubble. Well, not expanding, moving on from one bubble to another. It's like with relationships, we move on from people to more people to more people until we find our space, you know. And that's when our bubble expands. Okay, I'm being cringy, but you know what I mean, hopefully. And I know so many of you guys may be watching 100+ videos and you must be thinking, I can't do it, easier said than done. It's always going to be easier said than done unless you do it. That's it. There's no excuse. There's no excuse besides you yourself, you know. Oh snap, oh snap. Get me out of here, get me out of here, get me out of here. Ah! Oh my god. Okay, okay, okay. Leave me alone. Oh. I have a solution for this. It's called run the hell away. But yeah. Sometimes you realize in life things aren't actually for you. And that's okay, you know. And it doesn't mean you're wasting your time. Everything's relative. My animation. So I used to be an animator. I've said I'm an ex-animator in some videos. And I still draw. I just recently did a new model for my Ramadan series. I also wanted to say that I thought drawing was what I wanted to do, you know, with this channel. And then I realized it's not. But you know what the beauty is? I developed my style for around 8 months, guys. For around 8 to 9 months, I just developed my art style. I thought that that was what I wanted to do. I could have thought I wasted 8-9 months, but I didn't. I developed my art style. And now I use it to this day because you guys can see my character just basically being formatted to copy me on my screen. And if I didn't dedicate those 8 to 9 months, you know, I wouldn't have had my art style like that. And I do want to say something else as well. If I was aware that it would just be some random character on my screen, I don't think I would be that committed. But because of the unknown, you know what? Embrace the unknown in life. I thought it was my way of like living. I thought this was my channel, but no. But that kept me going each day. And now I think that if I knew it would just be a character on the screen, I don't think I would have worked that hard. So the fear of the unknown, use it as an advantage. The unknown does not have to be scary. The unknown should be something you're open-minded to. Good, bad things happen, you know, but not just bad things, not just good things. Everything is just the way it is, you know. It is what it is, that kind of stuff. But even so, you can do something about it. The only thing that isn't what it is how you define your life and how you change your life. That's conscious, that's intentional. But with things like what you do in life and what happens, you know, as a result, that's an it is what it is kind of thing. So if you are struggling genuinely, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just a human being. And even if you feel like you've tried and nothing worked out, everything is relative. Take lessons from that. You could learn about good relationships from bad ones because you notice patterns and trends. You notice about certain things because you've been through it before, just differently. And life can sometimes be sneaky and give you the same situation in a different disguise. So maybe something looks okay or different initially and then you realize it's the same old. But what are you doing? If you're doing the same old, you're gonna get the same old. It kind of reminds me of those, you know, dating sims. Except it doesn't have to be a dating sim. It could be a game with multiple choices, you know, a character that has different endings. If you're doing the same thing over and over again, the ending will be the same. But if you choose a character who aligns with your goals, or if you decide, I'm gonna do a choice that benefits the ending I want, then you realize that you're heading towards that instead. So that's what it is. Is it easy? Nope. Life is freaking challenging. It's a pain in the butt, you know, but Are we gonna let that define us and stop us? Of course not. It shouldn't. I mean, I've still got this trophy. I've been through hell in this game with my elegant little dress, and I still got my trophy. Anyway, let's go. So yeah, guys, if you are really serious about your goals, you would not be taking it like, oh, like a pinch of salt. It's something that matters, you know. It adds flavor to your food. You either keep it bland or you keep it tasty. Don't ask me why I thought of that reference. So yeah, I hope this helped people. You have to let go of that old you, honey. I know it's not easy, but that's the only way you can move forward. You can't take a pessimist in order to be more of an optimist. Doesn't work that way. That would just rain on your parade. You want to grow the plants, not drown them, not dehydrate them. You want to ensure that it gets plenty of sunshine and rain. That's it. Anyway, I'm going to sign off with this video. Before I do, please, please, please support my coffee page. If my videos have ever helped you, if you feel like you can resonate with me, I really would appreciate if you guys could support my page. My goal is 3,000 by the end of April, and I will give 1,000 of this away to the people of Palestine, Sudan, Yemen, those suffering. Ramadan is coming up, our fasting month, and I'm trying my best to raise as much as I can. Also, for anyone who supports me, you will get 50% off my commissions, plus an additional 20% for being a first-time customer. The 50% only applies to people who support my coffee page. Even $5 is enough, guys. Anything is enough. Everything is appreciated. Thank you so much for interacting with my videos. And I'll see you guys in another video. 1 second. Damn it, I spoke too soon. Peace. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Oh no, she can't wave. She's got her trophy. Let's just imagine she's waving, okay? Her trophy is louder. Because she's gonna win regardless of how many times she says bye. Bye. No! Sorry. Bye. Nikki, please don't blink. Like that. Okay.